But I want to laugh my tail off at this. I want to laugh my tail off, but I can't. The laugh is not coming out. But I want to laugh my tail off at this. You remember when I got to talking about apples, and when I first really got to talking about it, and I caught myself when I really was laughing. I want to have one of those moments right now, but I'm not having it. Instead, let me personify it. Let me personify it. You're ready to send out agents and shells to go out and stand on that block. Agents and shells to stand out on that block. And every agent has their own particular personality, but the talking points are the talking points. The talking points are the talking points. And there's shells there that's set up there. And they mix themselves up amongst the speakers as the speakers are speakers. There's shells set up and that speaker is on a block and now he's speaking. Dude, I'm telling you how you can come in and you take over political parties. And in the fact of somebody standing on a block, you have literature, newspapers to go with it. Now you have just people just randomly standing on a block and in freedom of speech. This is how you can take over parties. And in me telling you about Marxism, you see America. America is the plane of staying away from that vocabulary of Marxism. They don't even want to talk about Marxism. Instead, they make it about never forget. That's what they do. They make it about never forget. And when they make it about never forget, it's a manifestation of human rights. And that kike is not at the forefront of human rights. That's what this is about. The kike is not at the forefront of human rights. Of all the avenues that the kike makes money in, he is not at front lines doing it. He's you see it, and if he's in government, it's just a shell of laissez-faire, and they are promoting democracy around the whole world. And governments are engaging laissez-faire, and they don't want to do anything to mess up business. Now, business is taking over, doing nothing but enable the dictatorship of the proletariat. So when people go out of business, shareholders buy them out, or the product is dead or is copied as it dies. That's what's going on here. The hamburger is the hamburger. That restaurant died, but hey, Jack Burgers just opened. He's a local guy that's just selling burgers, and McDonald's is going to be open. But Percy hamburgers and fries, they closed. They closed. Percy couldn't keep it open, but Jack's Burgers, his place is still open, and McDonald's is open. And the communists just come in and they just overtake one another. It's wicked overtaking wicked until government fails itself. When government fails itself, now you have no means to really produce prestige infrastructure, from down to your exchange of currency and your money to your buildings and things like that. Everything's become degraded, and now versus government handling infrastructure, it now becomes according to prestige of families. And now coat of arms, you're going back in the dark ages of Europe. So, motherfucker, bro, and all this shit, you can see the Roman Empire, you can see the Dark Ages, and motherfucker, bro, you can see the threat as a threat, and a lot of people don't want to do nothing about nothing because they're going to just be in the history books. Well, what is that if your literature is lost? So we made it to the history books. Well, a lot of old Roman literature was lost. Yeah, a lot of old Roman literature was lost. And then that's when you would go back to calling me N-word when I show you that fact. I would tell you the fact that Alexandria was burnt by the Alexandria Library. It was burnt by Caesar, Julius Caesar. So a lot of the shit in the library was lost because it was burnt down. The librarian of Alexandria, it was rumored that Julius Caesar was the one to burn it down. Some say he did it on purpose. Others say it was a mistake. He didn't mean to do it. He was just putting some boats on fire, according to a retreat or some shit like that. I got to go back and look it up. But some shit like that. But you see it, history can be lost. In the Roman Empire, they lost a lot of history. But now you can fucking see that fucking church as that fucking church. And you can see that kike. That's that kike. So, my friend Brad, I was thinking about just coming about, cracking up, laughing, having a good time, laughing at this shit. This motherfucker, Brad, there's some agent, and he's doing it by Benjamin Franklin. He doesn't want to be found out. He doesn't want to be found out, as there's an independent company navigating the soul. The writer is the engineer of the soul, Stalin. So imagine a guy, he's one-on-one, and he's meeting people one-on-one, and he's playing telephone, essentially. He will meet one guy, and he gives one guy an objective, what he told that guy. He writes it down, and he makes notes. And that one guy has a file, and that next time coming about, another guy comes in, and it's one-on-one, and the code is to stay one-on-one and keep the secret. And in the secret being a secret, you can see shells not even come to know one another as people are coming to work, and shells are working with the organization. So if they are working with the organization, they are pitching in profit with the organization. Dude, I know how to come in and take over a political party. You just need the body, and you got to be able to sway people. A year ago, Katie was not for people standing on that box. Motherfucker, bro. A year ago, Katie wasn't for it. Just giving me her number, and I talk about all this stuff that I knew at that moment. But I didn't know your Kajina codes, but I knew some of the things that I knew, but instead she would have rather this path, and she likes it because what you don't know is what you don't know. So Katie, she likes this path. Yeah, Katie, she likes this path. I like what's happened. I didn't listen to him either, and I like what has happened. But do you not know Katie has known my existence for almost a year? Katie, yeah, Katie, don't get it twisted, Katie. I want my dick sucked. And then she on her stuff on her walk. Get the mirroring clip. That's what she's on. Mirroring clip. Making about plain Jane. Talking about I heard her with that Kelly dress and those shoes showing her toes. I heard her. She was like, Kevin, I thought you like fate. I'm just gonna go and come out and say the F word. No tally of mass. And I said, I do like that which is below the ankles. This is me talking. I don't say the F word. I don't say the T word. I like that which is below the ankles. Hey, yeah, I like that which comes in the manifestation of tens and then exposes 20. I like that. 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 I don't use that F word. I don't get in that pizzazz. I can't get to doing that. That's not in my nature. I don't get to using the T word. That's not in my nature. And so people get to call me the N-word because I get to show them something, and you think something cool, and then you come up and see me. I don't use that damn T-word, F-word. I just want to come in and get surprised. But a year ago, Katie, she would have got the ranting, get off that box. You anti-Semite on that box, talking that pizzazz. And don't try to switch it up and try to become a Stalinist. When I figure you out, take that quick left turn, and suddenly you a Stalinist making it about spider webs, saying you were just saying Jews with that tone of voice because you wanted people to know who not to blame, and you got to expose who came in and enabled the people who are to blame. You need to get off that box. Yeah, that's what she would have said. That's what she would have said. Get off that box. And then somebody would have seen her, Katie. And they would say, he need to get off that box, preaching all this hate. Katie did not like you. Did you get to speaking up? Well, I know what to speak up to. He needs to get off that box. Katie. So now she shut it down. She canceled him. Katie. She canceled him a year ago. Now, Katie. Katie, she's ready to cross her arms and imagine herself on the box because it's 2022. She's ready to imagine. And then when she goes to work, she just puts on the ball cap, and that's her shade. That's her cover. That's her cover. That's her cover. That's her shade. That's her cover. And then when she puts on that ball cap, she says, I've had enough for Egypt because by means of this ball cap, there's a shade, there's a shadow at my eyes by means of this ball cap. So I ain't gonna do nothing about nothing. I know something about the oath to the dog. And I don't want to see my family do anything. That's what this is about. I don't want to see my family do anything. I personified prep culture, and it didn't do anything for me. So now it's doing something for me. I don't suddenly want my family to be better than me, but they're gonna figure me out how I was gonna expose them on that box a year ago, and I would say, I know. A year ago, you want that guy to get off that box. Now you ready to imagine telephone, one on one, one guy here. Imagine I'm that one guy, and there's another guy, and he said, go out, we gonna engage some preliminary rhetoric. You gonna stand on that box, and then we are both gonna go out and get shells. We gotta go off and sell the plan. We gotta sell the movement. We gonna get shells one by one, one by one, one by one. From one comes many. From one comes many. One by one, we gonna do it one by one according to the Greek proverb, the Latin proverb, the Latin saying, Uranus plurus, Uranus e plurus. We gonna get them one by one. From one comes many, and we gonna play telephone, and we gonna have you stand on that box, and you gonna go out and get those shells, and I'm gonna get some other people to stand there on that box, and you gonna keep this secret between you and I, and you ain't gonna know who those other shells are, but you gonna see that sign as that shine, but they ain't gonna know you, because there gonna be so many shells standing on that box, you're not gonna memorize it, and we all coming in for the cause, and that party is that party, and we gonna find the leader of our party, and the cause being the cause, and whoever come and speak up and really stand up, we gonna find a leader. And now I'm gonna mirror that gag, and I'm gonna start it just like I'm starting it right here, and people will say, oh my God, and now they're calling me in words because they didn't know that I will figure it out. A kike is in the shadow. He's in the shadow. He's in the shadow, a kike. He's in the shadow, ready to give you a plan and objective, and it could be according to party. So now you're calling me N-word because I figured you out. It's a kike. It's a kike. It's a kike. He's ready to give you a plan. Give you a plan. He's giving you a plan. He's giving you a plan. Ready to hit you and tell you he's giving you a plan, a kike. He's giving you a plan. Give me your plan. Give me your plan. Give her a plan. That kike, he finds a penny on the ground. Guess what? He donates it. Kikes. Yeah. That's what they do. That's what they do. And then they're endogamous. Endogamous. Communication, engage, endogamy. You imagine telephone, and you like it. Telephone. And then you getting the shells one by one. One by one. One by one. But you can't do that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Somebody standing on the box. In the movies, in the television, in the media, in the journalism, in the columnist panels, in the columnist writing. They're all about do. Now you see culture as culture. Now you see that guy who has it. Now, Bert, I hope you understand it. Now they got you yoked. You wearing that ball cap. Go open a restaurant.